Alright, so let's dive straight into this one. Let me go ahead and start with some side notes, of course. So, unit stats are RNG based, so not everybody has the same stats. All stats in this video are rounded up, so it just looks nicer. Third of all, it's opinionated, so if you don't want to get one of the other units that I recommend, then don't do it. It's your own opinion. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, and this is not including relics. Now that's out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and be ranking them from best to worst. So let's get started. Now the first one, I will be honest here, I did not collect as much information as I can because a lot of people actually haven't gotten this yet, since it's fairly hard to get. If you already don't know how to get Pucci or Made in Heaven Pucci, it's pretty hard. Alright, search it up on YouTube. I'm gonna be probably doing it by myself, but this guy is overpowered. Now I don't know his damage, his SPA range, or AoE right now, but I do know some of his information. So he does multi-hit, his attack type is ground, and his ability is what makes him number one. So even though you have to go through a lot of hardship and a lot of hard work to actually grind for this character, his ability makes up for it. So basically his ability, it's a 50% SPA reduction for 30 seconds map wide. So any unit inside your game, it doesn't matter if it's yours or another person's, they get their SPA half. So for example, if Aizen has a 14-second SPA, that gets half. Now it's 7 seconds. And if Pucci has like maybe a 6-second SPA, half, 3 seconds. Like the amount of damage you could do with this, especially since it's 30 seconds that this ability is up for, it's absolutely insane. It's like Kisuke, but like on crack. Like he's sniffing heroin, he's sniffing crack. Alright, I don't know how you sniff heroin, but that's what Pucci did. But the downside is that the global cooldown of this unit is around 5 minutes. So I recommend using this when you're in dire situations or when you know you have enough time to bring it back up. You can place 3 of them down, which is really nice, and overall it just looks amazing. Alright, this stand user honestly just looks amazing. You could argue though that some of these other units in this ranking could be better just because generally they don't have an ability that carries them. They don't have an ability that makes them better than the others. Or you could say they have another attribute that makes it better than them. But honestly, Pucci Made in Heaven, that minus 50% SPA reduction for 30 seconds just makes it really good. Now coming up in number 2, I got your boy Jotaro with Star Platinum. So his damage is around 230,000, DPS of around 48k, SPA 14.5 seconds, range of 23. He does have a giant circle AoE. He does multi-hit. His affinity is physical. His attack type is ground. He has the ability of passively time stopping, similar to Dio, but I'll talk about this in a bit here. And he has a placement of 3. So what I meant about his ability is that he doesn't really actually time stop. He kind of slows them. He's like Mochi, but also on crack, right? Like a lot of these new units are on crack. They're crazy. But he has a passive time stop with this giant circle AoE. So anybody in this circle AoE, similar to Dio, will get slowed down for around half a second, 5 milliseconds, somewhere around there. It's pretty honestly really good. Even though his SPA is a little high, you could spread these guys around the map. Plus you could stack them with stun, because slow and stun don't get combined together as one type of debuff. They're combined as 2 debuffs. So of course you can slow them down and then stun. Boom, infinite slow. But overall, this damage is honestly really insane. Although his attack type just being ground makes him a little more disabled in fighting air units, but honestly you didn't really expect them unless you want to count the time when Dio and Jotaro were literally flying up in the air. Well, we're not gonna talk about that. But number 3, I got your girl Jolyne, or Stone Ocean. Alright, she's honestly one of my favorite ones. Her design is honestly amazing, but this is not beside it. That's besides the point. Alright, her damage is around 505k, DPS of around 42,000, SPA of 9.5 seconds, range of 32, decently big circle AoE. You know, it's not fat, it's not big, but it's decently sized. She does multi-hit around 2 to 3 times, which is not that great, but still multi-hit. Her affinity is magic type, her attack type is ground, her ability is a passive stun, and her placement is 4. Now her ability is what makes her get placed in number 3 because it's a passive stun, right? Every single time she attacks, even though it's around like 10 seconds at this point, you can place forward down, you can spread her out, but it's a passive stun, right? You could combo with Jotaro, father and daughter combo. That's crazy right there. But everything inside her circle that gets hit with her ability will get stunned, right? It's just as easy as that. Really good. Now for 4th place, honestly, this could be very debatable between Hermes and Toru, the weather report user and the Kiss user, because they're both pretty they're both pretty mid in my opinion. Unless they have a special ability then that I don't know of, then they're still in my eyes pretty mid. But I'll go ahead and talk over them and explain why both of them are kind of like in the same tier. But Hermes, or the Kiss user, around 33,000 damage, around 36,000 damage with DPS, 4.6 seconds SPA, range of around 25. AoE is a big circle AoE. He doesn't multi-hit. His affinity is physical. His attack type is ground, and he has the ability of 50% critical chance with the placement of 5. So the only reason why this unit is honestly good for those people who want damage is because of course you can place 5 of him down, and that 50% critical chance, right? It's nothing crazy that we've seen before. His SPA is pretty slow. I mean, pretty low, around 4.6 seconds. That's fairly low, honestly. If you pair that up with Pucci, that could go down to like 1 to 2 seconds with a 50% critical chance, which is really nice. But honestly, there are other options better than Hermes. But if you want to get Hermes, go ahead. Now let me move on to Toru or Weather Report and then compare them afterwards. So a damage around 44,000, DPS around 32k, SPA of around 5.5 seconds, range 36, giant circle AoE similar to Hermes. He doesn't multi-hit like Hermes. His affinity is magic and lightning. What splits him apart is that his attack type is hybrid, which is really good. He doesn't have an ability, if I can't think of any ability or I've seen any abilities from him from anybody showcasing him, and placement of 4. So the reason why these two are kind of like in the same category is, of course, they both don't multi-hit. Their SPAs are both pretty low. Their damage are fairly similar. And the 50% critical chance kind of gets negated with the hybrid. So they could both be in 4th place in my opinion. But if I was truly going to be really honest, I'd probably go for Toru just because he has that fat giant circle AoE. Plus he's a hybrid. So that's really nice. But you could also argue that this Hermes guy just has great DPS. Now, so with being fair and having an actual ranking, I'll put Weather Report at 4th place. And then I'll put Hermes at 5th place. So yeah, there's my ranking right there. Plus, Weather Report is a limited, so why not get him? So there you go. Those are all the new banner units and what I rank all of them. Definitely tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys have a better ranking or you want to add on, do that as well. Anyways, good luck farming for this new update, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.